Tai Chi Master is a 1993 Hong Kong martial arts movie directed by Wu Pingyun. It stars Jet Li and Suho Chin as Junbo and Chinbo respectively. The story is about these two characters' friendship and how it deteriorates over time, eventually leading to a few climactic fights between the two throughout the movie. Both of these men start off as Shaolin monks, who, while are not directly trained, are some of the best fighters in the monastery. They are kicked out, however, due to Chinbo's aggressive nature. From there, these two gentlemen go to the city and quickly realize how corrupt the government is there. After meeting a few other characters, including Xu Lin, played by Michelle Yeoh, who Junbo plays mentor to, an opportunity presents itself in the form of military service. Jun, not obsessed about material gain, rejects it, instead staying with the resistance group. Chen, however, is greedy and readily accepts the agreement. Chen then ends up betraying the freedom fighters in a grand fashion, causing Jun great pain for ever trusting him. For how serious the movie is in its story of betrayal, the movie is still enjoyable because there's comedy to it. One of the first scenes we see the characters fight in involves them play fighting with two brooms. These types of lighthearted interactions really make the movie a must watch. In every fight scene there is some sort of prop or other twist they do in the choreography to elicit some sort of brevity in the scene. The other great thing about this movie is the scope of these fight scenes. While there are some plain 1v1 fights, there are plenty of other large group fights. The first one of these large group fights we see is when the Shaolin monks have deemed that Chen has betrayed their order. Junbo obviously joins in on the side of his friend. What follows is an impressive 2v50 fight involving exquisite staff work. The scene involves a lot of wide shots mainly to sell how large of a force they are truly up against. The scene only really cuts into medium shots for very particular actions, such as reaction shots or very particular attacks. Close-ups in this scene are very much regulated only to specific important impacts to elicit a much more visceral reaction from the viewer. This scene also has some great examples of light skill, which means that they very frequently cut to low-angle shots. This further makes the viewer feel the gravity, or sometimes lack thereof, of their attacks. This cinematography is used throughout the movie to great effect. Most of the fight scenes flow very well, even though the scope of some of the fights sometimes can confuse the audience. There are some negatives about this movie, however, one being that Chen's sudden personality shift feels very jarring. He starts off as somebody that the audience can't help but compare to one of their best friends. However, halfway through the film, a switch is flipped, turning him in from a nice guy with anger issues to a completely unredeemable character. My other major issue is honestly more of a minor issue, but towards the end of the movie I realized that the film got lazy in hiding their wires for their stunts. Overall, this film is a great story about two characters coming of age, one being a great force for good while the other takes a much more darker path. This movie has great stunt work, action scenes with great set pieces, and an overall good story. I cannot recommend this film enough.